Hi everyone, welcome to TwoTwins in EVE, your weekly update for EVE Online stuff. I am your host, The Lone Wolf, and this week's episode will be a bit of a mixed bag. First of all, we have the supercarrier changes from Team BFF that were posted as a warning to supercarrier pilots. The drone bay will be reduced in size and adapted to house only bombers and fighters. If pilots will have too many drones in the bay or the wrong type, when these changes will be in, these will automatically be transported to the hangar of the station with their medical clone. So I think for carriers and super carriers in wormhole space, this is pretty important to keep that in mind. The new maximum will be 25 fighters and or bombers for the Ion, the Revenant and the Wyvern, and 30 for the Nyx and the Hell. And there will be also a hit point reduction of 10 to 20%, so no longer what was it, 20 or 25% across the board. I guess they listened to player feedback there, and some of the weaker super carriers will get a smaller nerf to hit points. Second topic, still going back on the plex speculation, I followed another pretty interesting thread there. One of the ideas that gathered a lot of agreement in the thread was that long-time players are burning ISK for a downtime, so just to keep their tunes running but without having to pay any money, and they're no longer buying plex to fund large ships. I sort of agree with that, although we did see a pullback from above 500 million ISK to, I'd say, around 485 million ISK where I am. So I do think that it might have been a bit of an reaction from the market to push it above 500 million. I'm not really sure, but what it does show, I think, is that Crucible will be extremely important for EVE Online. This winter expansion will have to get the attention of players, and we'll have to get players back into the game. So CCP takes some with the supercarrier nerfs, but they also give some with the dev block on turret effects. This is the idea that misses will also be showing as missed shots. This will still be an early and a very light version with a lot of limitations, but they will try and push it out for the winter expansion. So some of the limitations are that the first shot will always appear to be a hit. They just can't get around that yet at this point. It will only be visible for shots fired by your ship. And on some occasions the angle might be a bit strange because of how the misses are calculated. It's like a sphere around the target, and so you might get some quirky angles there. And it will not affect missiles yet. These will always hit. My idea would be that you could just have the explosion a bit earlier or a bit later on misses, but whatever. Next up, a video you have to see, although most of you will probably already have seen it. Rooks and Kings Clarion Call 3. If there's a video that comes to mind to show other people what EVE Online is about, this is definitely one of them. I put it in my favorites. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. And finally, there was a pretty interesting thread I thought about the Tornado, some theory crafting on that this might become the best suicide ganking ship. So the opening poster calculated that with the best implants and skills you might be able to fit 8 times 1400mm artillery 2s on that, and then with 4 gyro stabilizers you can really put out an enormous amount of damage on a battle cruiser hull. So it looks like we'll have a new ganking ship coming up with the Tornado. There was also a CCP live event yesterday, nothing to do with storyline, but just some PvP fun, shoot at some PvP devs, some CCP devs, sorry. I was there, so I'm going to cover that in a separate video, which I'll make right after this one. There were Titans there, just to give you guys an idea. Finally, I did get invited to the Star Wars MMO. I'm not sure. I can play a bit this weekend. but I'm not sure if I want to. I really have no interest in going for that game anyway, but I might just want to check out the beta. I have to decide, and we'll see. Anyways, I'll see you for the live event video in just a few moments.